Hello friends, I am Malhar Shah. Today I am going to explain the English grammar topic, that is degrees of comparison, on my new YouTube page, that is Saturday Syntax. Friends, can you tell me what is the meaning of degrees of comparison and when we use this degrees of comparison? Degrees of comparison are used when we compare one person or one thing with another. So of course we can say there is direct or indirect comparison between two unlike objects. Now friends, what you observe in this picture, you will say, sir, there are 3 trees in this picture and all the trees are big. But I will say the first tree, that is of course big, second tree, that is bigger than first one, and the third tree, that is the biggest tree from all the trees. So there was direct comparison among these 3 trees. Now in this subject, in this topic, we'll learn different 3 types of degrees. That is positive degree, comparative degree, and superlative degree. Now friends, what is the meaning of positive degree? The positive degree expresses that there is no comparison made. Let's take some illustrations. Cardo was a brave man. So here Cardo has not been compared with anybody. Myra's voice is beautiful. So her voice has again not been compared with anyone's voice. Now second degree, that is comparative degree. By name, of course, the comparative degree expresses comparison of 2 persons or 2 things. Like Paul is braver than Cardo. So here Paul has been compared with Cardo. Yes, of course we can say the bravery of Paul has been compared with the bravery of Cardo. So that is a comparison with Paul and Cardo. Even Annie's voice is more beautiful than Myra's voice. So here the voice of Annie has been directly compared with the voice of Myra. So that was comparative degree, the comparison between 2 subjects or 2 things. And the third one, that is superlative degree. The superlative degree expresses comparison of more than 2 persons or things. Let's take some illustrations. Rohan is the bravest man. Of course, we can say in the class, in the lecture, Rohan is the bravest man from all. Even Pearl's voice is the most beautiful. Of course, we can say the voice of Pearl is the most beautiful. So that was superlative degree. Now we'll focus on some of the rules regarding adjectives. Now first of all, adjectives of 1 syllable. Friends, when adjectives of 1 syllable are given, at the time you have to add ER in comparative degree and EST in superlative degree. Let's take some example. The adjective small is given in positive degree. It becomes smaller in comparative and it becomes smallest in superlative. At that place, ER has been added in comparative and EST has been added in superlative. So that is the suffix. Like 2 more examples are given, like warm, warmer, warmest, and old, older, oldest. Now second point, adjectives ending on E. At the time, you just have to add R in comparative degree and ST in superlative degree. Like the adjective nice is given in positive degree, it becomes nicer in comparative and it becomes nicest in superlative. And some of the adjectives with double the final consonant, like the big is given in positive degree, it becomes bigger, BIGGER, and in superlative it becomes biggest. Now some of the adjectives of 2 syllables. So adjectives of 2 syllable, add ER in comparative and EST in superlative, that we already have seen. Let's take an example. The narrow becomes narrower in comparative and narrowest in superlative. But now the adjectives ending in Y, at the time you just have to cut Y, add IER in comparative degree and IEST in superlative degree. Let's take an example. The adjective happy is given in positive degree. At the time you have to cut Y, add IER in comparative, so it becomes happier. Add IEST in superlative, so it becomes happiest. So we can say happy, happier, happiest. Now we'll see some of the adjectives ending in full, less, ing, add. At that time we cannot use suffix er and est in comparative and superlative because it becomes very absurd. So we can write more and most in comparative and superlative degree. Let's take some example. The adjective useful is given in positive degree, which becomes more useful in comparative and the most useful in superlative. Some more illustrations are there. In positive, boring is given. In comparative, it becomes more boring. And in superlative, it becomes most boring. In positive, the adjective modern is given. In comparative, it becomes more modern. And in superlative, it becomes the most modern. Now friend, this table is very important. This table is about an irregular adjectives. Friends, in this adjectives, we cannot add suffix er and est in comparative and superlative. Neither we can add more and most in comparative and superlative. Let's have some examples. Good, better, best. Good, better, best. Bad, worse, worst. Bad, worse, worst. Little, less, list. Little, less, list. Much, more, most. Much, more, most. Many, more, most. Many, more, most. Far, farther, farthest. Far, farther, farthest. Late, later, latest. Late, later, latest. And old, older, oldest. Old, older, oldest. So there were some irregular adjectives. Friends, you have to just mug up this table because this table is very important for exam. Now we'll see some more example with pictures. Here we can see different animals, like first one, that is horse. Of course, the horse runs at the speed of 45 km per hour. So we can say the horse runs very fast. But lion runs faster than the horse because lion runs at the speed of 80 km per hour. But if we say about cheetah, cheetah is the fastest animal on the earth, which runs at the speed of 120 km per hour. So of course horse runs fast, lion runs faster than the horse, and cheetah runs fastest from all the animals. So fast, faster, fastest. One more example we can see here in this picture. First image, that is about iPhone. Of course iPhone we can say that is big, but iPad, that is bigger than iPhone. And of course we can see the Apple laptop, that is the biggest technological instrument in this picture. Here we can see the results of different three girls. Now the first one, that girl has got 60% in exam, so we can say the result is good. The second girl who has got 70% in exam, so we can say she has got better than first one. And the third one, she has got 80% in exam, so of course we can say that was the best result. So that was a comparison between these girls, so it becomes good. In comparative it becomes better, and in superlative it becomes best. Here we can see different car models, and of course all the car models are very expensive in the market. The first one, that is about Mercedes. Yes, of course the Mercedes cost 20 lakh, so that's why we can say it is very expensive. But if it is about BMW, it is more expensive than Mercedes because it cost 22 lakh. But if we take an example of Audi, it is the most expensive car because it costs 24 lakh. So we can say expensive in positive degree, more expensive in comparative degree, and most expensive in superlative degree. Now here we can see different birds. All the birds of course are very beautiful, but the first image, that is about Kill Bill Toucan. It is very beautiful bird. Now second one, that picture is about flamingo. So we can say flamingo is more beautiful than Kill Bill Toucan. And the third image, that is a national bird of India, the peacock, which is the most beautiful bird of the world. So in positive it is beautiful, in comparative it becomes more beautiful, and in superlative it becomes most beautiful. One more example, here we can see different three drawings. Now first drawing, that is bad, second one, that is worse, and the third drawing, that is the worst drawing. Painting, don't you think that English grammar topic is easier than any other topic? If no, by the shortcut trick of bodyguard, definitely you will find that topic easier than any other grammar topic in English. Now you will say, sir, what is a shortcut trick of bodyguard? Of course we can say, when the celebrity is there, bodyguard is always with the celebrity. Here with degree we will find bodyguard. So if the degree changes, bodyguard also changes. So now we'll see the bodyguard in different 3 degrees. Now who are the bodyguard here? In positive degree, the bodyguard is as or so as. In comparative degree, the bodyguard is er than or more than. And in superlative degree, the bodyguard is the est or the most. Now after that, we have here 3 different segments. Type 1. In type 1, you will find 2 subjects there. In that situation, you have to swap the subject. If the sentence is affirmative, turn into negative. So meaning of sentence cannot be changed, should not be changed. So in positive degree, if as is given, in comparative, it becomes not er than or not more than. So as I said, if the sentence is affirmative, turn into negative and swap the subject. So those are the basic rule in the type 1. In type 1, there will not be superlative degree, because here only 2 subjects are given, and we have understood the definition of comparative degree, that there is always comparison between only 2 subjects or things. Now type 2, that is singular. In this type, you will find no other in positive degree, that will be in the beginning of the sentence. Er or more than any other, that is in comparative degree, and the est, that is in superlative degree. So in positive degree, it is no other. In comparative degree, it becomes than any other, and in superlative degree, it is the most. And type 3, that is plural. In positive degree, in the beginning of the sentence, you will find very few. In comparative, it becomes many other instead of any other. And in superlative, it becomes one of the est or one of the most. So in type 3, in positive, there is very few. In comparative, er than many other. And in superlative, it is one of the est. So friends, first of all, you cannot change the segment. If the sentence that is of type 3, you just have to turn into other degrees, but that belongs to type 3. So you cannot change the order, you cannot change the segment, and the meaning should not be changed. If the example is of type 2, you have to turn into other degrees, but that of course should be from type 2. Now points to ponder. Friends, step 1. You have to identify the appropriate degree of comparison. So first of all, identify whether it is positive degree, whether it is comparative degree, and whether it is superlative degree. And how will you find? Yes, of course, by bodyguard. By bodyguard, you can find that degree is positive or comparative or superlative. Step 2. After identifying the type of degree, just you have to give and identify the segment of degrees of comparison. So that is phase 1 or 2 or 3. And step 3, develop accuracy on using adjectives in sentence, that where you have to add er and est, more and most, and either they are irregular adjectives or isn't not. It very easy by bodyguard method? So now we'll see different examples step by step. As I said, first of all, we have to identify which type of sentence it is. So let's have some examples of type 1. Yes, we have to remember again all the rules. First one, you just have to swap the subjects. If the sentence is affirmative, turn into negative without changing the meaning of the sentence. Let's take an example of positive degree. Vivan is as clever as Shafin. So here we are seeing the bodyguard of positive degree, that is as. Now, first of all, you have to swap the subject. So Shafin comes first and the sentence is affirmative, so you have to turn into negative. So Shafin is not now the bodyguard of comparative, that is er. Then, so Shafin is not cleverer than Vivan. So if you change the degree, you have to change the bodyguard. And of course, if two subjects are given, there will not be superlative degree. One more example is there in positive degree. The negative statement is given like Capella is not so bright as Dogstar. So if the sentence is negative, will turn into affirmative. The bodyguard of course also changes. So Dogstar is brighter than Capella. Some more examples of type 1 are there. Usain Bolt runs as fast as Milkha Singh. In comparative, of course, we have to turn into negative, but the sentence is in present tense, so we'll add doesn't. So the answer is Milkha Singh doesn't run faster than Usain Bolt. One more example is there. Joe Root didn't play so well as Virat Kohli. You swap the subject, so Virat Kohli comes first. If the sentence is negative, turn into affirmative. So Virat Kohli then played, because the sentence is in past tense. So the past tense of play, that is played. So Virat Kohli played better than Joe Root. Again, yes, of course, two subjects are given. So there won't be superlative degree. Now there are the examples of type 2. In type 2, no other will be in positive degree, any other will be in comparative degree, and the est in superlative degree. So let's take an example. No other man in the world is so rich as Bill Gates. In comparative becomes Bill Gates is richer than any other man in the world. And in superlative it becomes Bill Gates is the richest man in the world. So when we change the degree, bodyguard also changes. One more example. In positive, yes, of course, the sentence starts with no other. So no other metal is so useful as iron. In comparative becomes iron is more useful than any other metal. And in superlative, iron is the most useful metal. And the last type, that is type 3. In positive degree, there will be very few in the beginning of the sentence. In comparative, it will be er than many other instead of any other. And in superlative degree, it will be one of the est. Let's take an example. Very few dramatists were as great as Shakespeare. It becomes Shakespeare is greater than many other dramatists in comparative degree. And in superlative degree, it becomes Shakespeare is one of the greatest dramatists. So one of the est, that is of course the bodyguard of superlative degree in type 3. One more example is given there. Very few games are as interesting as football. As I say, very few will be in the beginning of the sentence like no other. So if very few is given in comparative, it becomes more than many other in comparative degree. So football is more interesting than many other games. And in superlative, football is one of the most interesting games. So friends, by this, I hope you understand the concept of change the degree. Hope you enjoy the video. Please like and share and comment and subscribe my new YouTube channel, that is Saturday Syntax. Thank you.